A story of betrayal, strength, and second chances. Everyone in our neighborhood knew the Thompsons. Jane and Mark seemed like the perfect couple. They had everything: a beautiful house, two healthy daughters, smiles that could light up a room, but perfect families. They don't always stay perfect. Let me tell you what really happened. When Jane married Mark, she thought she had found her soulmate. He was kind. He was funny. He promised to love her forever. And for a while, everything was wonderful. Then came their first daughter, Emma. Jane's world changed completely. The sleepless nights began, the endless diaper changes, the constant worry. But she loved being a mother. She loved holding Emma in her arms and watching her sleep. 2 years later, their second daughter arrived, little Sophie. Now Jane had two babies to care for, two mouths to feed, two hearts to protect. She stopped going to the gym. She stopped wearing makeup. She stopped buying new clothes. There was no time, no energy. When she looked in the mirror, she barely recognized herself. Her body had changed. Her hair was always in a messy bun. Dark circles lived under her eyes. But she told herself it was okay. She was building a family. That was more important than anything else. While Jane stayed home with the girls, Mark's life was moving in a different direction. His career was taking off. New clients were calling. New contracts were signed. His company was growing fast. People started treating him differently. They called him Mr. Thompson with respect in their voices. They asked for his advice. They wanted to work with him. Mark liked this feeling. He liked it very much. Every morning he put on his expensive suits. He wore his shiny watches. He drove his new car to the office. And every evening he came home later and later. When he walked through the door, Jane would be there, tired, wearing old sweatpants, holding a crying baby. The house would smell like diaper cream and baby food. Mark would look at her, but he didn't really see her anymore. He stopped asking about her day. He stopped bringing her flowers. He stopped saying, "I love you." The small touches disappeared. The goodnight kisses became rare. Jane noticed. Of course she noticed, but she made excuses for him. "He's working so hard for our family," she told herself. "He's just stressed. Things will get better." She kept believing. She kept hoping. She kept waiting. At Mark's office, there was a woman named Sarah. Sarah was everything Jane was not. Slim, perfectly dressed. Her high heels clicked on the office floors like music. Her lipstick was always perfect. Her laughter filled the room. She was smart too. Clever. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she knew how to get it. She started staying late at the office. The same nights Mark stayed late. She asked him questions about his work. She laughed at his jokes. She touched his arm when they talked. "You work so hard," she would say. "Your wife is so lucky." Mark felt something he hadn't felt in years. He felt noticed. He felt important. He felt young again. Soon, working late became their code. Business trips happened every week. Phone calls at night became normal. Expensive hotel rooms, secret messages, lies. And Jane, she stayed home. She believed her husband. She trusted him completely. But the truth always finds a way out. It started small. A receipt Jane found in Mark's jacket pocket. Dinner for two at an expensive restaurant. On a night he said he was working alone. Then a text message. It popped up on his phone while he was in the shower. Jane saw it. "Last night was amazing. When can I see you again?" S. Her heart stopped. Her hands started shaking. She wanted to scream. She wanted to cry. But the girls were sleeping upstairs. She waited for Mark to come out of the bathroom. She showed him the phone. She asked him the question she never wanted to ask. "Who is Sarah?" Mark's face went white. He tried to lie. He said it was nothing. Just a friend. A colleague. A mistake. Jane wanted to believe him. She really did. So she made a choice. She decided to forgive him. "Promise me," she said, tears running down her face. "Promise me it will never happen again." Mark promised. He swore on their daughters' lives. He said he would change. Jane believed him. For 1 month things were better. Mark came home earlier. He helped with the girls. He even brought flowers. But then the late nights started again. The business trips. The distance. This time Jane didn't wait. She hired someone, a private investigator. She needed to know the truth. The photos came 1 week later. Mark and Sarah, holding hands, kissing, entering a hotel together. Jane sat in her kitchen, looking at those photos. She felt something break inside her. Not her heart this time, something deeper. Her trust was gone. Her hope was gone. Her marriage was gone. When Mark came home that night, she was waiting. The photos were on the table. "Get out," she said quietly. Mark tried to explain. He tried to apologize. He said Sarah meant nothing. He said he loved only Jane, but Jane was done listening. "Get out of my house," she repeated. "Get out of my life." He left that night, and he didn't come back. The next few months were the hardest of Jane's life. She cried every day. She felt worthless. She felt old. She felt broken. But she had 2 daughters watching her, 2 little girls who needed to see their mother be strong. So Jane made a decision. She decided to start again. She remembered something she loved, something she had forgotten: baking. When Jane was young, her grandmother taught her to bake. Cookies, cakes, sweet breads. The kitchen was always her happy place. She started baking again. First just for her daughters, then for friends, then for neighbors. People loved her sweets. They asked for more. They wanted to pay her. Jane started small. She sold cookies at the local market, then cakes for birthdays, then wedding desserts. Her little business grew, and grew, and grew. She hired helpers. She rented a small shop. She created a brand. Jane's sweet home became famous in the city. Money started coming in. Real money, more than Mark ever gave her. But something even more important happened. Jane found herself again. She lost the weight. She bought new clothes. She cut her hair. She smiled at herself in the mirror. Not because she wanted to look good for a man, but because she wanted to feel good for herself. Her daughters were growing up too. Emma and Sophie were proud of their mother. They saw her strength. They learned from her example. Meanwhile, Mark's life was falling apart. His relationship with Sarah didn't last. She left him when his money started running out. His business failed. Bad decisions, bad investments, bad luck. He lost his company. He lost his house. He lost everything. One rainy evening, he stood outside Jane's bakery. Through the window, he could see her. She was laughing with customers. Her shop was full. She looked beautiful. She looked happy. He realized what he had lost, what he had thrown away, what he could never get back. He walked into the shop. Jane looked up and saw him. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Mark said the words, "I'm sorry, I was a fool. I lost everything. Can we start again?" Jane looked at him. This man who broke her heart, this man who betrayed her trust, this man who chose someone else over their family. She thought about forgiving him, about giving him another chance. But then she looked around her shop, at everything she built, at everything she became, at the life she created from the pieces he left behind. She smiled, a calm, peaceful smile. "No, Mark," she said softly. "You had your chance. You had many chances, and you chose to walk away. Now I'm choosing to keep walking forward without you." Mark's eyes filled with tears. He nodded slowly. He knew she was right. He walked out of the shop, out of her life, this time forever. Jane watched him go. She didn't feel angry. She didn't feel sad. She felt free. That night, she locked up her shop and went home to her daughters. They had dinner together. They laughed together. They were a family, a different family than before, but a stronger one, a happier one. Jane had learned something important. She learned that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you becomes the best thing that ever happened. She learned that she was enough. All by herself, she was enough. And that was the greatest gift Mark ever gave her. Not on purpose, but by leaving, he gave her the chance to find herself again, to become the woman she was always meant to be: strong, independent, successful, free. And as Jane turned off the lights and kissed her daughters goodnight, she knew one thing for certain: she would never let anyone make her feel small again. Never. The end. Sometimes we need to lose everything to find ourselves. Sometimes the people who break us teach us how to be unbreakable. And sometimes the best revenge is not revenge at all. It's simply becoming so happy, so successful, so complete that you forget they ever had the power to hurt you. This is Jane's story, but maybe it's your story too, or someone you know. Remember, you are stronger than you think. You are worth more than they made you believe, and you deserve a love that never makes you question your value. Never settle. Never stop believing in yourself. Never give up. Dear friends, please write your opinions about the story in the comments. If you like the story, please subscribe to the channel, like and support us. See you next time.